Good morning, my fellow llamas. My name is Mr. Llama, and I am bringing you a PvZ on Antiga Shipyard today. This is going to be between the Bluezerg coLRyze, spawning in the top right, and of course, he is the well-known coLRyze. He is a #1 Masters player right now. I believe he's been Grandmasters before, and he has a total of 4,500 games won over that, so assuming 50-50 ratio, probably a little bit better than that for him. He's played about 8,500 games, I'd say, something around there. So how many games have you played, and why are you not Grandmaster, not top master player? Maybe if you played that many games as he did, you would be. Anyway, spawning down in the bottom left or bottom right corner, I apologize, is BonesOD. So I did cast another game of Bones just previously, and it was back and forth base trade madness, and he was just able to pull it off. So this game actually, from what I've heard, coLRyze is on Skype with Cats and Destiny. So it's just a funny game, supposedly something along those lines. Anyways, we do see Bones opening with that forge first off of that pylon. A lot of times you will see Protoss players open with the Nexus to try and get that fast econ, as you can get those probes out and stay on par with the number of probes and drones that your opponent has. You can stay ahead of them or keep up with them to at least about like 38 probes, I want to say, before they really start kicking in with that huge drone production and getting ahead. So a little bit different if you do open for that forge, but with that forge you can then of course throw down that early pylon and do some sort of cannon cheese and just be annoying to your opponent. So it looks like we do see coLRyze opening with the gas in that spawning pool. So not so typical nowadays that we see that gas going down for our Zerg player. A lot of times they just do go for that 15 expand without the gas, simply because what do you do with that gas for those first few minutes? All it does is really tie you up. And yes, you do get the map vision with those 4 lings, so it's very helpful if you do want to do any sort of early pressure, as you can of course deny any scouting probe, anything like that with 4 lings. 6 lings can deny that early zealot, or even 4 lings can deny that early zealot if they have that speed. If he does get that, where did all of his gas go? No, so he hasn't even used it, so he is going for just an expand there first. And no cannon cheese out of BonesOD. But yeah, so with that speed, you are able to deny early scouts, kill off probes, anything like that, and then you can transition to throwing down Roach Warren, going for some sort of 10 Roach all-in if you want to cancel your hatch, or going for a little bit later Roach Ling all-in, or simply just running around with a lot of gas. So he does take off after that 100, and sometimes you will see players continue to mine, and if you do not take off after that 100, you are severely crippling your mineral economy, as you'll start getting 200, 300, 400 gas, and that's 300 minerals that could have been spent on 6 more drones, which then turn into even more drones over the time of mining. So it's very hurtful if you do not decide to pull off gas and not utilize that or use that in the early game to really do any sort of damage, as those are free drones you're just giving away right there. So BonesOD gonna go ahead and put his probe over here, and he will later be dropping a pylon right there if it is not scouted, as that is such a common place, and you can just warp in immediately right there if you have these rocks down. That's the easiest like warp in, walk up and kill third path I've ever seen. So it looks like coLRyze is going to be taking his third here, and it is going to be at 28 supplies. So usually you see these go down around there. I've seen them go down as early as 21, 22 supply, all the way up to 28, 30 supply. And his is going to be a little bit later because he did get that speed upgrade, of course. So it looks like we do have an early zealot out just for a zealot poke, do a little bit of pressure. And we are a little supply blocked right now for Bones. So just going to get that sentry out a little bit later, but it shouldn't matter too much. And Bones going to poke up here, just wants to see this third. He's willing to sacrifice the zealot, and he's going to try and get in between the mineral patch right there, but it shouldn't be enough, as nope, he's going to be losing that zealot. So a couple of lings do go down though in that process, and he is able to see that third. So of course that is exactly what Bones wanted to see. Make sure his opponent's not going for any sort of 2 base all in that he needs to prepare for. So a couple more links just going to run down here, And always smart as a Zerg player, just leave your links outside, one outside the base, just so you can see when he's pushing out, or later you can push up in and see if he does have an army right here that you can scout what he is doing. So right now, BonesOD just getting that +1 upgrade. We're going to have to see if he's going for any sort of timing off that. It does not look like it. So he may be going for some sort of wow. He may be going for some sort of +2 timing, as a lot of times you will see a +2 stalker blink attack, something like that. As there we go, a few more gates being added down right now, so 3 more gates going down for our Protest player. He does have a few sentries out to force field this ramp if there's any sort of early roach pressure or anything like that. I love that a drone just happened to sneak in there just for the fun of it. Like, he just kind of like walked through. There was a cannon there, so maybe did he sneak through over here? Because if he went through here, the cannon would kill him. I'm not exactly sure how he survived and got through there at all, but he did. So in the meantime, we do see a beautiful scout by coLRyze. Going to be able to see exactly what's going on, see these gates. And I guess not exactly what's going on, as he will not see any future gates, but he gets a pretty good idea of the scouting information, as he did just immediately scout down here with his drone a little bit prior to that Overlord. So he's got a pretty good look at this whole base, except for like right there, but there is nothing. But, of course, this could be just some sort of early 4-gate pressure, possibly from Bones. He may warp in a few units over here and try and just do a little bit of damage. But it looks like coLRyze knows what's up, as that pylon's so very, very obvious. Obviously placed over there. And, yeah, he's just going to scout around, and he's going to see that with his sling. He's going to see the probe, possibly. Yes, so he's going to chase down that probe. Very smart. In the meantime, we have 4 zealots that have come out right now, so they're going to be able to snipe off a queen, possibly. A couple of queens here going to try and deal with this. No, they're just going to run around until the units can't get over here to attack this. There are 4 roaches, so roaches, of course, destroy zealots and can just kite them away infinitely if they wish. And he just has to be careful to not lose a queen here. And 1 queen going to go down, so that makes it a little bit more worth it right there. I don't think any drones were killed, but he's able to kill off a queen, so able to get a little bit of payback from that, and forces, of course, some units to be produced from his opponent in place of drones. And there's the blink going down now, so Bones going to be going for that blink stalker with the robo, which we have seen him do before, and it just seems like it's a build he is very comfortable with. And of course, pumping out that observer for any sort of burrow, and then pumping out that warp prism, and we'll have to see if he utilizes this in some sort of drop back here and wall off with sentries and kill off all these drones. And coLRyze does not have burrow, so he would not be able to burrow any of these drones, and that is a very, very juicy drone count. But we do see spine crawlers going down already from coLRyze. So even though this is a replay, it's like he heard me, or he got a good scout. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to see it. No, so his scout is not the best, but he's just kind of assuming that something could be happening. He knows something fishy might be going on, so the spore crawler and these spine crawlers should be able to deal with this just fine. And he just does have that at his main and his third, so that's all he really needs. And the spore crawler is going to start going to town on this warp prism. He's going to have to pull back, I would imagine. No, he's just going to push right on through it and head over towards the natural. So warp prisms, of course, got that buff and are extremely strong now. He's going to try and do a little drop right here. It's going to be able to force field the ramp. One of the most beautiful force fields I've seen in a while, but this warp prism is going to go down thanks to that queen. So no warping is going to be able to happen. And he's going to have to make sure to continue force fielding off that ramp. Yes, he does. So possibly going to snipe down this lair. No, he's just going to be in an awkward situation, as now all of these sentries are stuck in this base. And an infestor comes out and it's going to drop some infested Terrans, and some roaches do pop. So Roach is going to be able to clean this up very easily along with those infested Terrans. And in a last-ditch effort, he drops down these force fields, which wall off 13. So 13 drones for 15 seconds, not able to mine at all. And I mean, that makes that a little bit more worth it, in my opinion. That's just funny. I love it though. I completely love that play as they are dying, just throwing that down and walling those drones into the minerals right there. And here we go, coLRyze with a decent supply lead, going to be pushing out and catching this army standing right out here. Possibly, no, it's going to be able to retreat. So they did see those lings right there, and he's going to go ahead and push in though and start sniping off a few of these units. The blink is revealed. He does have the +2 versus the 1-0 of his opponent, just with that carapace for our Zerg player. So Bones, very, very good with his upgrades. We have seen that in the previous games, already at that 2-1 or 1-2, whichever way you wish to call it. I'm really going to have to see how people call it. I call it 2-1. That's just me. I read it right to left. I don't know. +2 attack. So here we go. Possibly going to be another engagement. And coLRyze already maxed out at this point, as he has just been able to freely macro up as much as he wants. And Bones a little bit behind there, only at 120 supply. He does have the upgrade advantage though. He does have the blink stalker, so he does have that tech. But no third has even gone up for him. So we see his main already half mined out, and it looks like there's going to be a push up here from coLRyze to try and do some damage. Fungal growths do go down, do a little bit of damage right there. He's going to go ahead and spew out some infested Terrans to get some more DPS added with this army. Nice force fields over there, able to trap a lot of the roaches, but here we go. The infested Terrans have popped, and infested Terrans do a decent amount of damage, able to really tear away at that army, but it looks like the Blink Stalkers with Micro going to be able to force this army back of coLRyze. And yes, another blink forward, able to take out even more stalkers. So a lot of those stalkers do have damage on their hull, but with that great blink, Micro is able to blink back, and the upgrade advantage, of course, really able to win him that fight. So coLRyze has a lot of overlords kind of chilling out here, and it's possible that he loses his 4th base right here at this gold if he cannot get that saturated. That'll put him in a little bit harder position, but a lot of infestors right there, going to be able to get some fungal growth off, yes, so not going to be able to blink those stalkers back. And these roaches going to push up here, snipe down this immortal. Yes, it looks like the immortal will go down. And in the meantime though, infestors going down from the stalkers blinking ahead right there, but it looks like coLRyze might be able to clean this up, as he does have a lot of units out on the field, a lot of roaches. Ling's going to come in and get a surround on this immortal right here, so taking that down as well. And I'm not quite sure which way this is going to go. It looks like Bones actually going to win that fight just barely, but another round of reinforcements from coLRyze will be able to take this out. However, the 4th does go down, but no 3rd has still gone up for Bones. And I'm not sure if he actually tried to throw it up and it got cancelled or what, but coLRyze is going to go ahead and be a little bit annoying and drop that creep yum 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 all over that. So in the meantime, coLRyze is going to send a few lings on a little counter, able to snipe up a stalker with that and maintain a little bit of a supply lead. But I say Bones definitely clawed his way back in there right there. He was a little bit behind going into that, but able to do that damage they need to do, taking out that 4th. And 3-1 now on his upgrades versus his opponent's 2-0 or 0-2. I am so back and forth in deciding what I should call it, but Greater Spire now coming down from our player coLRyze. And will it be in time? I'm not exactly sure, as there's a Blink Stalker push coming in right now. Some Zealots trailing in behind, and he's going to be able to get us around with these Lings right here, it looks like. So we'll have to see exactly what he can do, but there's not too many units right there. And big fungal growth going down from the infestors, hitting so many of those units, but they are getting sniped off by these stalkers. And it looks like the stalker's going to be able to clean these up. Another group of Lings, though, coming in, going to be able to get us around, take a lot of that damage. But the stalkers with those upgrades able to do so much more, as he does have 2 more upgrades than his opponent. He also has that blink, of course. And now if he can push in here and take out his opponent's 3rd, that would be huge. And it looks like he's going to be able to snipe off these roaches, snipe off that spine. And drones have to be pulled to try and deal with this, but they are not going to be able to do too much. Infestors just spitting out infested Terrans, trying to do whatever damage he can. But Bones doing so much damage. Great blink micro right there, saving all of these little guys in the red to once again fight a little bit more, do a little bit more damage. And he's able to do so much damage right there to coLRyze. In the meantime, coLRyze trying to take some extra expansion, says he needs mining bases. He is low. Both players are pretty low in their incomes. 43 drones to 47 probes. 20 minutes into the game, and still no 3rd has gone down for Bones. So that is pretty much all in for that Blink Stalker attack. How many gates was he working off of? He was working off of 7 gate Robo, so that is very, very heavy investment. And looks like with that Mind Out Man, this is going to be his last ditch push to really do some damage. In the meantime, there's a drone transfer coming off coLRyze. If he can push back this army, that would be huge, but it does not look like he's going to be able to, as the Blink Stalkers there, and the Zealots, just with those upgrades, the upgrade advantage simply doing so much, and not going to be able to get a decent concave now. Actually, no, he's not. There's just not enough units here for coLRyze to really deal with this. Blink Stalker Micro doing so well. He blinks forward to try and pick off these remaining roaches. Yes, he will be able to, and coLRyze really in a lot of trouble. He does have 2 investors and 10 lings on the way, but that is not enough to deal with this arm right here, especially when they just spew out 2 at a time. So Bones standing in the middle of the natural saying, I am king, but the gold expansion has been taken for coLRyze, so Bones is going to have to work fast, and he's going to have to do a lot of damage. And he says, hi Destiny, as he knows Destiny is coaching. And I believe Destiny is sending him little messages as well. Something along those lines, I believe that's what he told me. So Bones convincingly going to be able to take this game. It looks like he's pushing into the natural, going to snipe off that Greater Spire. And without that, there is no more tech, really. Does he have the Roach Warren still? It does not look like it. So just lings left that can be produced. They're 2-1 lings against those 3-1 stalkers, or 1-2 lings I should say. But the Spinecrawlers here now going to be able to do a little bit of damage. And huge transfer from coLRyze. So he does have this gold mining, and you have to remember that it's gold mining versus basically nothing mining of Bones. Bones does have, once again have this big army, but coLRyze mining a lot off of that, and he's going to throw down another Roach Warren. So if he can start pumping out roaches, he does have a lot of gas saved up, so all he really needs to do is mine those minerals and get an army out. And he does have some infestors here as well, so fungal growth can go down on this army. If he gets a little bit more energy, he can get a couple fungals out of each of those infestors, and that could be game ending right there. We do have long distance mining going down from coLRyze, or from BonesOD I should say, which is actually a very smart thing to do right now, as he does not have enough to expand, and hopefully once he gets enough to expand he will. But the snipers, the infestors, gonna get sniped, I should say, and GG, that is it. Yes, so BonesOD pushes over to that 4th of coLRyze quick enough before he can really do anything to come back. He was just starting to make those lings again. And if he would have had another minute over there, he possibly could have had an army to defend against that. But no, it looks like BonesOD going to be taking out coLRyze, the well-known player. So well played right there from Bones. Nice little 2-base all-in. I am MrLlama, and if you have any comments or anything like that, feel free to leave them below. Let me know what I can do to make this stream more enjoyable for you, make this game and these casts more exciting, more fun, or whatever it is that you would like. So thank you very much, GG, for BonesOD, and it has been a pleasure.